Welcome to another How Good Is. Today, how good is the news? Our top story today. What is actually happening? We're already getting the next Puella Historia. I thought we just had one. Here's the next one. Could it be that the next few characters in Puella Historia are going to be just as busted as Ebony, who we just had? The answer is no. These two characters are not as powerful as Ebony, so if you want to save your gems for a little bit, don't worry, now's the time to save. But to get into the news, the first bit of news that I want to take a look at, which is actually a few days old. I haven't made a video about this because this coincided with the release of the Kimochi, and I just don't make news about stuff that we already know. Like, Kimochi isn't anything new, but the point is that there was a big update for MagiReco in terms of like how the data in MagiReco was handled. So you would have to download like 2 gigabytes of data, but then afterwards some magic happened and your actual MagiReco installation took up less than 1 gigabyte, or took up 1 gigabyte less of storage than before. Weird stuff happened, but a bunch of stuff happened, and I didn't go into the details. Now, if the North American version was still up and running, I would be putting in a really big amount of effort to tell you every single bit of detail that changed. But since the North American version isn't running, and I know that this game is going to die in the next 2 years or something like that, I don't give a shit, which is why I didn't really make a big video about this. But one of the things that happened, aside from updated graphical fidelity on some magias, like some magias and some doppel have like slightly more special effects on them. Like I think someone said that the Reina, the normal Reina magia has more special effects than it did before. I don't have the time or the motivation to actually check out if that is true or not and actually make a video about that. But the point is, some stuff happened, and one of the things that was a side product of all of those changes is that stuff went fucking haywire. Stuff actually went insane because of this. Now, one of the things that happened was graphical glitches. Now, I want to try and show if I can show this on screen, how some of these graphical glitches looked out. I don't know. Okay, you can see this. This is what it looked. This is what the game looked like for some people after this update. The entire screen was just having a shade of red, and if they went into battle against enemies, they would see that the effects that you like, the special effects from some of their attacks that you would have when you play the game, would look really fucking weird. And just generally, the game was just busted as fuck. Like, visually, I'm trying to find more screenshots of it, but just visually, the game was completely fucked up. And if you are having this issue yourself, then you're probably playing on an emulator or the PC version. The PC version is an emulator. So this is what another thing like this looked like. What even is this? So if you are on the PC version or if you're playing on emulator, go into your graphics settings and it will show you, do you want to use a DirectX or do you want to use OpenGL? And whatever you have, you just switch to the other one, right? Just switch to whichever one you don't have. Like, if you're on DirectX, switch to OpenGL. If you're on OpenGL, switch to DirectX, and it should fix this issue. But that said, this graphical glitch looks so fucking insane. I'm showing it on screen right now. How cool is that? Like, how fucking insane does this look right now? I would pay money to play the game looking like this. I mean, this is the home screen. Does that not look insane? I don't know if I'm the only person like this. I don't know if people in the comments are gonna say you're insane, Raz. They're probably gonna say that anyway. But you're insane. I do not want the game to look like this, but I would love if the game looked like that. This is amazing. I love this. This is such a great amount of just style. Make this an option in the menu where you can just go into your menu and you can say, I want to play the game in Akuma mode. Okay, this is the Akuma Homura mode where everything is devilish and evil. and it looks like this. And I know I've already spent way too much time on this, but I just wanted to keep going on about this because I love this. I want this to actually be in the game, even though I know it won't be, but I want this to be. Can someone make a mod about this, where someone like just puts a mod in the game, a special APK that looks like that? Oh, that would be insane. Anyway, Puella Historia. There's the next chapter of Puella Historia with more characters apparently happening, which like maybe some people care about that. Like I don't know. Maybe some people want to see that. But yeah, okay, so what is this Puella Historia chapter about? Well, first off, there's a campaign that goes alongside this chapter, which during this campaign you have half AP, double experience, you know, the usual stuff, but also you get bonus missions, just do a bunch of battles every day, and you can get this special memoria. There were already special memoria like this for the other two characters like Tsuyu and Chizuru from the first Puella Historia chapter, but now for this one it's also just by playing 30 battles during this event, any 30 battles, you get this memoria. It gives a dark attribute attack up as well as Excel MP up, which means that yeah, it's basically exactly an ebony memoria. So if you have ebony, this is perfect for her. But also if you have Kurue, this is also perfect for Kurue. Just generally, if you have any dark magia kind of character who actually wants to use Excel discs, this is perfect for that, because of course dark attack up and Excel up. Yeah, that means dark doppel. This is not rocket science, of course. Dark and doppel up or Excel up means yeah, anyone who any dark type uses Excel discs is gonna find this one a pretty darn amazing memoria. That's sad because the innate attack that it has on it is rather low. There's probably better choices for this if you're a whale. So this is not a whale memoria, but this is a pretty good memoria if you are a free-to-play character who has a dark type magia character like Mikage, maybe even. This would be a pretty good memoria for that. But the actual characters that you want to hear about is, on one hand, we have Gunhildr, who it hasn't been talked about yet, but I hope that this is Gunhildr, the Mother of Kings. So if you go to Wikipedia right now and you look at Gunhildr, Mother of Kings, you will find some info about that, because she's a Norse character, an actual person who lived, maybe. I think I've read that maybe she didn't actually exist, but she's a person from Norse legends, Norse history, who apparently was wed to one of the most famous kings of the Norse kingdoms, and was also responsible for birthing many of the Norse kings afterwards. Like, I don't actually know. I'm not a fucking historian, but I just know that if I put Gunhildr into Wikipedia, this is what I find out about. What is she actually like as a MagiReco character? She has 3 Exaltis, 2 Blastis, no Charge Discs, and guess what? We're not gonna see any fucking Charge Discs in this entire news video. So if you're someone who likes Charge Discs, get fucked. So she has 3 Exaltis, 2 Blastis, which makes her kind of like a hybrid between having a doppel and actually blasting a little bit, which in my opinion is the most favorite kind of character that is out there. Her Connect gives, let's actually just go down the list. Connect gives attack up, it gives flame attack up because she's a flame unit. She's a support, by the way. Wait a second. But no, she's balance unit. She's a balance unit. And her Magia is add strength damage to all enemies. Gives attack up, flame attack up, and no, just attack up, flame attack up to all allies, but also damage up and damage increase, which is both the different kinds of damage up there in the game, to self. So she buffs the entire team with attack up and flame attack up, and then buffs herself with damage up and damage increase. It's pretty damn powerful, and soon we're probably gonna see the kimochi for this, so you will probably see the kimochi soon that has the where you play your fire flame characters, and on that kimochi she might be pretty alright if she's gonna be a must-use character. I'm not quite sure about that. Her SE active is mag damage up and damage up, so once again a mixture between just increasing your output for blasters and then also increasing the output for your magia and doubles. And then she also gets MP regens at the start of the battle for 1 turn, which we've seen so many fucking times now. Like, this is what a Holy Mummy of the anime version had, for example, or Double Kyoko had, where on the first turn you just generate a crap ton of MP. In this case, it's 70 MP, which of course gets increased by MP up bonuses. So she gets really fast Magia or Doppel if you're trying to aim for that, and with 3 Excel discs on top of that, it will be really easy for her to get your first Magia or your first Doppel. And then she also gets Anti-Magia Seal, which it's basically every single Magia or Doppel focused character has Anti-Magia Seal, so I don't know why they keep showing you this. Like, you expect every character that is focused on Doppel to have this, so why do they still show it off? Wouldn't it be more important if they showed us if, for example, this character has just a general MP bonus as a passive? That would be way more important. But yeah, generally the idea behind Gunhildr is that you get really fast Magia, really fast Doppel specifically. You get a really fast Doppel, and then you fire off your Doppel, and then once you fire it off your Doppel, you buff your entire team and you buff yourself, and you just blast. You just blast. You connect with other characters to blast even harder. So you have a setup phase, and then you have a blasting phase. That is kind of the idea behind this. And because she's fire type with added strength and Doppel, and being focused around blasting after the Doppel, you would kind of expect her to be played in the Kimochi, because the Kimochi, where you play your fire characters, is indeed focused around using your blast discs. So that it kind of makes sense, right? Well, like I said, we don't know actually if her numbers are good enough to actually be useful. And the thing is, if she's not actually useful on her Kimochi, she's kind of a bad character, because she's kind of specifically made to be good on her Kimochi. But if it turns out that her numbers are not good enough and she's not going to be played on that Kimochi, then why the fuck would you roll for this character unless you liked her as a character, in which case, like, she looks pretty nice. I'm not gonna say that. She looks pretty nice, and in that case, like, if you like her for her design, I'm not gonna say no, right? So that might be why you want to roll for this character. Then you also have some Memoria. The Memoria is Magia damage up and MP gain up and flame attack up. Like, a lot of effects that are just, once again, increasing her output. Magia up, MP up, flame up, just output, pure output. Which is weird that she's balance type. Shouldn't she be Magia type? Because balance means defense as well, but there's nothing defensive about that. She's 100% offensive. She's like so offensive that every left-wing person out there is going to read about how offensive she is. But there's nothing defensive about. Why is she balance type? I don't. She should be attacker or Magia type. But yeah, pure output, pure offensive type, which makes this a good Memoria, but not good enough to probably throw your rolls at it. And the other one is attack up and MP gain up on this one, which doesn't matter. Who cares? Then we also have Olga. Now Olga is green, but she's not forest type. I need you to like wrap your head around this. I know this is very weird, but she's green, but she's neither forest type nor is she light type. She's water type. As green water type. It has been 5 years since the game has been released, and the colors don't match up. It's been 5 years, and for the very first time in 5 years, the colors just don't match up. How is she green and not a forest type or a water or a light type? That is, I just can't fucking understand. But yeah, she has no charge discs, because who fucking care about charge? Fuck charge discs, yo. She has 4 blast discs, which means that yes, she is a blaster, even though she has a shield, which would mean that if she has a shield, wouldn't she be defensive? I mean, the other character had 2 axes, but she's defensive, while this one has a sword and shield, like a shield, and she's offensive. What? Okay, let's just go down her list. Her connect is attack up as well as flame and non-flame attack. Is a wait, that's a weird one. It gives Aqua attack up, which is this one right here. Aqua attack up 1, which is 10%, I think. Roman numerals are hard, but I think it might be 10%. It also gives damage up 1, which is also maybe like 10%. And then it gives blast damage up 5, which is maybe 40% or 50%. I'm not quite sure about the Roman numerals. You just have to look at it when it gets released. But that's a pretty weird connect, because it has like many different effects that like fanned out over many different types of effects. But only the blast damage has like a lot of numbers behind it, and then you have attack up for Aqua attribute at 1 and damage up at 1. I'm not quite sure about that. But then again, I guess the connect doesn't really matter that much. You usually, like nowadays, I know that back when the game released, connects were really important, because connects were how you're getting your big impact on the field, where you're trying to get like a really high impact connect chain with multiple characters to try and get as much output as possible in a single turn outside of your doubles with like blast discs and like charge blast discs or maybe even just Excel discs. As much output as possible. But nowadays it's not really that big of a deal, because if you're fighting in Kimochi you're either using specifically on a charge blast Kimochi, you're using charge conservation on your connect. This doesn't have charge conservation, so it doesn't factor into that. Or you're just not even using your discs, and instead you're doing a Magia or doppel chain. Like on any single Kimochi that isn't the fire Kimochi, you're doing a Magia and doppel chain, and if you're double chaining or Magia chaining, you're not even using your discs, and if you're not using your discs, connects don't really matter that much. So connects in general just have lost a lot of their impact on the game. What's more important is the Magia. Is the Magia good? Does she have a good Magia? Does it even matter? I mean, she has 1 Excel disc and 4 blast discs, so maybe her Magia doesn't actually matter, but let's find out. Her Magia is the following. It deals attribute strength, or rather her doppel. I'm gonna just go with her doppel. It deals attribute strength and damage to all enemies. It gives Aqua attribute attack up to all enemies, all allies, because of course it fucking does. It gives defense up, which is a completely wasted effect. It gives debuff shield, which is a mostly wasted effect. It gives HP restore, which is a mostly wasted effect, and it gives MP restore to self. Not to everyone, just to self, which is still good, but most of her effects are kind of wasted, and I guess Aqua attack up is fine. But think about it, what are you gonna use her for? Because actually, never mind. Let's go for SE and then talk about that. So her SE active is Blast Draw, which is fine, but not really that strong. Then she also gains Blast Salutation at the start of quests. And the Blast Salutation is just, in case you don't remember the name, is it gives you MP whenever you use a Blast Disc, and it gives you more MP the more tiles you hit. So Blast Salutation 2, actually no, my Blast Salutation 7 is, I don't know how much that is. It might be 5, 6, 7, anything in that ballpark. The kind of, I keep mentioning this, but the Roman numerals don't mean anything. But the point is, for the first 3 turns, if during your blasters you gain a lot more of your MP, which is supposed to get you really quickly all the way up there to your Magia and Doppel, specifically because you also have passive Blast Salutation. So yeah, during your first 3 turns, use a lot of blasters, you get a lot of MP, you get a lot of MP for Magia and for your Doppel. And the point is, you get really quickly to Doppel to do what exactly? And that's kind of the question that I ask myself, what is the game plan here? Get a lot of MP from blast discs to buff Aqua characters? But why would you buff Aqua characters? Like generally, because the only place where you play with mostly Aqua characters is Kimochi. But during Kimochi, where you play your Aqua characters, you're Magia and Doppel chaining. And if you're Magia and Doppel chaining, why would you take a character that has 4 blast discs that is going to ruin every chance you have at getting an Excel combo? I mean, I guess unless you Excel draw, which You only have one per fight usually. It feels kind of a waste to use her on Kimochi, because this is the Magia and Double Kimochi, where you use a character that has blast discs. But outside of that, if you're not using her for Kimochi, if you're using her for PvP in Mirrors, for example, or if you're using her for PvE in 100 Evils, in EX challenges, she buffs Aqua characters. Specifically only Aqua characters. And she has to get a lot of blast discs in the first 3 turns of the battle to get to her double, and if she doesn't, she's useless. So you're specifically trying to get her to double in the first 3 turns of the battle, but not in Kimochi, but to do that in PvP, like in Mirrors, normal Mirrors, which is useless, because you're gonna win until then anyway, or lose. Or outside of that, it's 100 Evils and EX challenge. But if you're doing 100 Evils or EX challenge, then why the fuck would you play an Aqua team? Because if you fight against a single forest enemy in 100 Evils or EX challenge or a Paradox battle, you're getting fucked anyway. Which is dumb as fuck. This is the thing about buffing your own element. If you're buffing your own element, like let's say you're a fire character, buffing fire attribute attack up, then you better have use in Kimochi. You better have use in Kimochi. Because if you're doing that outside of Kimochi, the question is, why the fuck do you even exist? Because in 100 Evils, in EX challenges, in Paradox battles, sometimes, and not all the times, you usually want to have a selection of different characters, a selection of different elements, rather. Like, you're not going to go into 100 Evils with only Aqua characters. No one does that. And if you do, you're getting destroyed. So if you have a character that only buffs Aqua attribute, you're not going to take them into 100 Evils. You're just not going to do that. Unless you're using them without the buff. But if you're using them without the buff, then why do they even exist? It's just really, really weird. Like, I'm trying to figure out where you would use this character. Like, I'm putting a lot of time and effort into figuring out where you would use this character, because the simple answer is the TLDR or the TLDW for this character is she's terrible, okay? She's just not good. She's fucking stupid, because look at her attack. 8,200 plus 2,100 is like 10,300 attack, okay? 10,300. You have Gunhildr, who is a balance type. Okay, she has 11,600. She has more attack. She's balance. She has balance and is more attack, and she has more attack. This up here. Sorry, up here. She has 12,000. She's even more. Okay, actually it's 12,000. She has even more attack, and she has even more defense, and even more HP. I don't know why no one else has pointed this out, but Gunhildr has way more stats than Olga. Way more stats, even though Olga is an attack type character, and you use a balance type character, and the balance type has more attack than the attack character. Why the fuck would anyone ever play Olga, okay? Olga is fucking terrible. She's cute, okay? Actually, she's very cute. She's from a Masugitsune, who also draws Tatumanga. She's just very cute. She actually is pretty darn fucking cute. She's very cute, actually. You know, I take back everything that I've said. Olga is actually a very nice character. So maybe if you really like this character, you should probably roll for her. The event itself is a double tower. It's another double tower. Okay. And her Memoria gives blast damage up, normal damage up, and it also gives Aqua attack up, which is basically her Magia, but as a memory, it's good. The other memory, who cares? But yeah, that was it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See the subscribe button, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.